midsection. We've got a nice sunny evening to match our sunny dispositions. We have our timer ticking. 10-second lead in as ever. We're going to get stuck into the work with the squat. Standard squat, keeping it nice and relaxed for our first round. Here we go. Sitting down into the movement. Keeping the knees nice and wide. We're not going to let them collapse in. We sit down into the movement. Knees tracking over the toes or towards the toes. They don't have to go over. Main thing is you're not falling backwards. If you need a balance aid, put the arms out in front. But for now, we have a little lie down. Hand to ankle. Right arm is going to go and meet the left leg. We've got the lower back pulled down into the floor. Core is engaged. Inhale and exhale as you bring your arm up towards your leg. So we're using the lower core here on the left side. Left leg is working. Lower core on the left side is also working. So we're opening up here at the chest, getting a stretch in through the back of the leg as well. And we're back up onto our feet for another round of squats. This time, bringing the arms in, reaching up overhead. We sit down and reach up. Every time the arms go up over the head, it brings the heart rate up a little bit more. So we're going to be nicely warmed up by the time this 4-minute section is over. Or 5-minute section. There or thereabouts. Last one. And we're down to the floor again. This time, right leg and left arm. Breath in, pelvic floor tucked, and lower back pulled down towards the floor. Foot position here. You can have the toe pointed, or you can have the toe pulled back towards you. You'll probably find you have more of a range of movement with the toe pointed. It takes some of the stress out of the back of the leg. And we're up to our feet again. We're going to add a little rotation in this time in our squat. Leading with the elbow, squat down, come up. Lead with the elbow, whichever arm is leading. That foot, you want the heel to lift off the floor. This allows you to get the heel, the hip, and the knee around. Otherwise, you'll be putting a lot of stress into the knee. And we don't want that. We want nice, healthy knees. Back to the floor again. Building. So, we're going left leg, right arm. We're going to come up to the top. So on our third one, we're taking the shoulders up off the floor. And every time now, shoulders come up. Slight pause at the top of the movement. And that's how we make sure we're using the upper abdominals here. We're not simply swinging, we're actively recruiting those abdominal muscles. And we're back up. Another elbow variation. This time the elbow's going to go upwards. We squat down and we bring the elbow upwards. So think of reaching back for your ponytail. I know you're jealous of my ponytail, I can tell. Reaching backwards as if to put your hair in a ponytail. That keeps the elbow rising upwards. There we go. You know what's going next. We're back to the floor. This time, right leg, left arm. Same as before. Inhale at the bottom position, lower back pull down into the floor, and we do 3 on the floor. I'm forgetting myself there. And here we go. We lift the shoulders up, reaching for the toes or the ankle or the shoelaces. There or thereabouts. Awesome stuff. We're back to our elbow leading on the horizontal plane, or we could have them flip first. I'm getting carried away. Thinking around two. Okay, so we're warm and we're mobile. Next up, standing work. I'm going to move that out of the way. We're into a combat stance. Get the right foot forward. We're going to jab and then cross. We drill the movement first. We can add speed and power later. Think of the jab as being the rangefinder. Then when the cross, we're bringing the hip around. That gives us reach. And that will also give us power. So this is why when we're doing our rotations with the squat, we're always lifting the heel off the floor. So getting us warmed up for this, so you can get the ankle, the knee, the hip, the shoulder all come around. Jab cross. So we're drilling the movement. Punch is coming to roughly your own nose height. Hands come back to that chin, back to your guard position every time. Next up, knees. Back knee. Hands starting to relax, we're starting roughly head height on ourselves. We step back, and we step forward with that knee, bringing the knee up, pulling with the lower core. And because we're bringing the arms down and around, we're using the obliques. Muscle us down along the sides of the abdomen. Exhale as you bring that knee up. We're switching to the other side. Same thing, we're coming off that back knee. Drilling the movement first. If you want, you can come a little bit higher with the arms. Again, the high arms raises the intensity, gets the heart rate up that little bit more. We're not hitting our thigh. We're bringing the hands to outside the thigh towards the hip, almost like you're hitting yourself on the side of the butt. Alrighty. Right foot forward, jab, cross, knee combo. So jab, bring it back, cross, you leave it out there, and then you reach, bring the knee in. We've got a few more left here, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Happy days. Same thing, jab cross, leave the cross out there, reach the hand, and pull it onto the knee. Again, the hands on that knee are coming across outside the body. You're not giving yourself a dead leg. You're hitting yourself on the hip or on the butt. Kicking your own ass. Okay, now the fun starts. We're going to take things up a notch. Same combo, adding a hop, adding power. So we're getting that little jump in. If the impact is too much, stay on the ground, but add that power. So you're crunching down with the upper abdominals and driving that knee up. Here we go. Last 3 seconds. Oh yeah, right on the buzzer. Here we go. Jab, cross, knee. Getting that power in through the upper abs and through the lower abs. And if you need to, stay on the floor. If you have it, give it that power knee. coming back down to normal. Taking a breather, because it's break time. So when you're coming off the back of a power circuit like that, real high intensity, give your heart a few seconds to come back to normal before you go for your water. Then just take a sip. Next up is slow. Five seconds, standing ab work, side abs. Shifting the weight onto one leg, knee comes up to the outside. Reach the toe down. So we're standing tall, bringing that knee up high. Pulling here, side abdominals. Keeping really good control. Same thing other side. Fingertips are just loose on the top of the head. Shift the weight onto the supporting leg. Bring that knee up. You're touching the toe down just to get the balance. And then bringing it back up. Each time feel that you're pulling here with the side abs. So we want the knee pointing away from you. Okay, now give the legs a rest. Hook, double hook, we switch sides, double hook on the other side. So again, like before, the knee and the heel lifts off the ground to allow the knee and the hip to come around. Lovely, relax. We're back into that same stance, front stance. Uppercuts coming across the body from our guard position. So there's a slight rotation coming from the hip because we're going across in front of ourselves. Coming up under the chin and through. You're not stopping at the chin, you're stopping at the eyeballs. Okay, front stance. Jab, cross, hook. So on that hook we want to pivot the whole body. So balls of both feet, back foot can actually come around, getting out of the way of an incoming strike of some description. So this rotation is working the core and the upper body. Same thing other side. Jab, cross, hook. Back leg comes round out of the way. Want a nice strong movement in that hook. Almost enough to throw yourself off balance. Almost. There we go. Back to our standing knee, side knee. One small change. The knee comes up and it's going to pulse up and down in that top position. Every time, pull, pull. Exhale for the pull. Hold your balance. Come back up. Got your eyes fixed on something that isn't moving. And switch. Give the legs a quick shake out. We're back. Shift the balance onto the supporting leg. Knee comes up. So again, here, above the hips, around the waistband, all down along the side, from the ribs towards the hips. That's all working hard here. Whew. Okay. Are we having fun yet? Of course we are. Gotta wait for the next round for more fun though. That one was gentle. The next one won't be. So next round, neutral stance. Continuous jabs, knees are slightly bent. We're going to crunch, so upper abs are coming down into it. Chin tucked in towards the chest. Continuous jabs every time. Hand comes back to the jawline, back to your guard position. Nice and quick. We're not putting a lot of power or strength into these, but they're just moving nice and snappy and quick. Core is working because you're not rotating, you're not overreaching, so the core is working to stabilize. Relax, get the shoulder to shake. This time, the core is going to work to rotate. Same thing. You want to push hard, getting distance in, knees still bent, hand coming back to that jawline type position. You're reaching around, chin stays tucked, abs are still braced. You're crunched down as you're going continuously with these jabs. Shoulders coming around. Feel the difference? I know you do. Okay, this time, jab, elbow, jab, elbow, jab, elbow. So as with your hook or with your jab, what's my back leg doing? Heel is lifting from the floor. Hip, shoulder, everything comes around off that back leg. And we switch sides. So rotation coming right through the whole body. Same thing again. Jab, elbow, jab, elbow. Basically the same as your hook. Here's your hook, here's your elbow. Almost identical. Getting that hip around, getting that shoulder around. All starts with the floor under your back foot. Alrighty. Time to bring the intensity up a notch. We're back to our knees. Continuous. You can add that hop in. We want the hands up high, crunching down through the abs. If the hop is too much, stay on the floor, but really up the ante with the speed and with the power as you pull down, crunching through the abs on every single strike. Heart rate skyrockets. As we come into the other side, same thing. So you want to build that intensity. Really get the heart rate up. Crunching through the upper abs. Pulling hard. Lower abs. Bringing that knee up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Uppers. So keeping it lower intensity, but keep that rotation in every time. Back heel lifts off the floor. You can drop the shoulder as you come into that uppercut to help you get below your target. One final one. Stay with me. Ready. Same again, uppers. All the time, hands coming back to that guard position. Head and shoulders. Doesn't just fight dandruff. You're bringing the head and shoulders around. That's where the rotation is coming in. If I'm just doing this, there's no bloody rotation and no body rotation. Last one. Good stuff. Next round, we're on the floor. So take your break. Once again, let the heart rate come down slightly. When you're drinking, you're not breathing. Right now, after high intensity, you need the air more than the water. Once you have control of your breathing, have a sip. Now we're going down to the floor. Pilates tabletop position. In 2, 1. Lower back printed into the floor. Head can be up or down. I'm going to stay down for this. Knees directly over the shoulders. Over the hips. I do know my hips from my shoulders, I promise. Knees straight over the hips. If it feels too easy, push them away a little bit. Suddenly, it's a whole different ballgame, as you can probably see by the shaking. Either my shaking or your shaking. Give the knees a hug. Rock gently from side to side. Whimper for mercy. I have no mercy. Back to tabletop. We're taking the shoulders up off the floor. Keep a little bit of space between the chin and the chest. You don't want to be down fully, straining the neck. You don't want to be hanging back like you're waiting for the headman. Headman? Hangman? Guy with the chopping block? Beheader? Executioner, that's the one. So head is neutral. Keep shoulder lifted, hand relaxed. Give the knees a hug. Pick up your voodoo doll of Nal, stick some pins in it. Now as we come back to tabletop position again, shoulders lifted, fingers reaching past the heels. Feel the sides really coming into the movement. Rib cage sliding down towards the pelvis, down towards the hips. Breathing should be a little bit constricted here. It means all the core is working. All the abdominal muscles are working. It's a good workout, I can't even speak. Wouldn't that be a mercy, says you. Give the knees a hug. Mutter curses under your breath. We're back to tabletop. Shoulders are up. Reaching away with one leg. Toe pointed, bring it back. So that leg that's reaching away just comes beside the other foot. You're not going down to the floor. Come out to 45 degrees from the hip. That's enough. It's particularly effective. We don't need to make it worse. Bring the knees in. Wasn't that fun? Guess what comes next? More tabletop. Shoulders are up. Reaching through the heels. We forgot that in the last one, didn't we? Once I said reach with the legs, you forgot to reach for the heels. Stretch the leg away. Keep reaching with your hands. Bring the leg back. Stretch the other one away. Keep reaching with fingertips. And back. Oh dear God, it's murderous. And come back. Last one. Give the knees a hug. Rock in a semi-fetal position. You know it. Tabletop. Holding. Reaching for the heels with fingertips. You don't ever want to actually touch the heels, but you're reaching that general direction to engage all the muscles down along your sides. Upper abs, absolutely on fire. See what I did there? Absolutely. And this is why I'll never be a stand-up comedian. I don't know any good jokes. Last one. Are you ready? Here we go. Reaching. Straighten away both legs for 45 degrees and bring them back to tabletop. Reaching both the way to 45 and back to tabletop. Keeping the core engaged, keeping the lower back pulled down into the floor. We're almost there. Dear God, this is killing me. How are you getting on? Give the knees a hug and pray I got my timing right, because otherwise there's more. Damn it, there's more. Same again. Tabletop, reaching with the fingertips, Both legs reaching away and come back. We want quality over quantity, so make sure you've got your lower back pulled down into the floor. Keep that spine safe. 3, 2, 1. Bring him in. How can lying down be such hard work? I'm gonna hold on to my left knee, reaching away the right leg, getting a little stretch in here. And relax, bring that right leg back in. Hold the right knee, stretch the left leg away. And bring it back. Coming over onto the hands and knees.
Activity completed.
Almost, but we're just going to give the lower abs a little stretch here. So bringing the hips forward. Lower the hips down towards the floor. Lower the body slightly. As soon as the stomach and chest start to touch down, take a big deep breath in. Push the floor away. Keep the hips as low as you can. Now from here, take a deep breath into the lowest part of the stomach. It should be uncomfortable. Exhale, release. One more big breath in and out. Relax. Now you heard the lady already. She said it. Activity completed. Upper and lower abs, side abs. Yeah. We have definitely hit the midsection. We have hit the core. Even worked up a little bit of a sweat. Who would have thought? Well done. See you soon.